again. We are in Florida still. We went to try to leave about a week ago and the tides were too low. Where we are, it's very shallow. So we weren't able to leave. So, but in the meantime, I guess I'm going to go ahead and show a couple videos of what we did over the summer. But we're about to leave. So the real time right now is second week of February, I think. And we're still in the process of trying to leave. We're ready to go. The boat's ready. We did a lot of work over the summer, which you'll see in this video. And then hopefully, as soon as we leave, we're going to be back up to date. So I'm on the boat today. Came to get my life jacket. It's the last one I have. The other two deployed in the locker back there. It's supposed to be a dry locker, but guess what? It was a wet locker. So I'm gonna do a video probably on how to rearm these things. The arming kit is right in here. You're supposed to replace these things every few years anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace those, all 4 of them this year. So and other than that, I mean, we are ready to go. It's just a matter of the right tide with the right weather, and then we'll be out there. Step 1 is to get the boat all cleaned up and ready for storage in the hot Florida sun. Got to try to get all the moisture out of the boat so you don't have any mold at the end of the season. Besides hurricanes, mold will be your #1 concern. Open as many cabinet doors as you can and keep a fan running all summer long to avoid mold. The first job I'm going to tackle while the boat's on the hard is this crack where we crashed on the ICW. You may remember that in one of the previous episodes where we hit a day mark doing about 7.5 knots and cracked the heck out of the side of the boat. So this is going to be my first attempt at fiberglass, so I'm sure I'm doing something wrong, but we'll give it a go. Well, I hope this is right. You can see I dug out all this fiberglass that was delaminated because of the collision, and I figured I'd go, a couple layers down and then wrap it in new fiberglass. So we'll see. That's a lot of fiberglass. It's gonna be thick. All right, I think we're ready for patching. We're gonna patch holes like this and like that one up there. Right there. We're going to patch those with filler, and then once that sets up, we're going to start laying glass. I don't want to go any deeper. I know this is going to be pretty thick, and it's going to come down here and then roll over top of this and then come down to here. And I'm going to put multiple layers to try to get some strength back in this flange. Looks like I'm ready for fairing compound. So the fairing compound goes on here and fills up the low spots and any kind of porous areas, like if there's any bubbles that were in the fiberglass. The fairing compound will fill those holes, and then I'll smooth the fairing compound out and put gel coat over that. And then once that's dried up, we'll put the plastic piece on like this right here. I've got it right here. We'll put that back on there, or replace it, I should say. The old one's broken. And then we'll put the rub rail back on after we do gel coat. So that's a lot of work for 10 seconds of not paying attention on the ICW. All right, we got the first layer of fairing compound on the boat, and the second layer, the first layer is sanded, the second layer is on there filling up any of the little holes. So all I got to do is sand that fairing compound down, clean it up, and put on gel coat. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit wavy since this is my first time trying to do fiberglass, but to save $6,000, I think it's worth it. Got a little bit of waves toward the bottom. I have to work those out. Didn't realize I had those. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 waves I need to sand down. But the top turned out pretty good. Just have to sand down the brush strokes and maybe put another layer of gel coat. All right, here's what I'm attempting to do. I have all these holes drilled out, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, and I got all the foam out. As you can see, I mean, it's all out. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as wet as I thought it was going to be. I drilled this one up here and took a core sample up here, and it was not wet. So I think I'm only going to go to here because I think it's dry, or relatively dry from here up. And then next year I'll take the thing off and rebuild the whole rudder, because right now it just looks like it was wet from there down. So what I'll do is I'll fill that with some expanding foam, let it dry, sand it down, put some fiberglass on it, and call it a day. All right, there's the result of using US Composites 2-part 16-pound urethane expanding foam. Rather than take the rudder off, I just drilled these 1.5-inch holes. It's actually hot from expansion. As long as it doesn't overexpand and delaminate, which I don't think it's going to, because it can come out this hole here, but it's actually going to be pretty solid. I mean, that is solid. Thanks to Dave on Second Wind with his genius idea. As long as this works, I mean, this saved me a ton of time and a ton of money. Drinks are on us, Dave, if we meet up down there in the islands. And the final step is to put on some fiberglass over top of the holes. And the next step after this will actually be to put gel coat and barrier coat and some more bottom paint. Seems like I just did this. I mean, this is deja vu. But the measurements were a little bit off on the last one, so I'm repainting the chain. Hopefully, some of them were right and some of them were about 3 or 4 feet off. I don't get how I got it wrong. But red, white, blue, green, red, white, blue, green, every 20 feet. And onto a job I didn't know I was going to have time to do. So we went ahead and completed our Dodger and side curtains, connector, and bimini top to give us some protection. Well, today I'm working on my bimini top finally. I did the bimini up there a couple years ago, and this one, if you recall, has been blue. So I'm in the process of trying to fit this. I've never done the front that goes on bars, and then the back is zipped on with a track. I've no experience with that, so I don't know. So I'm gonna go home and sew these zippers and then come back and do the corners to try to get some of those wrinkles out. Hopefully that works. Bimini top, Dodger, and connector. Coming along pretty good. Just have to sew one more zipper and a zipper cover, some reinforcements on the sides, a couple snaps, and we have a complete cover over the boat for the first time ever. I have already made side curtains and windshield. You've probably seen those, but the side curtains are new. The windshield is old. But I may make curtains over here and curtains on this side. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on where we plan on sailing. We haven't figured that out yet, so we still got 3 weeks to figure that out. Figure out where we're going this year, because we don't know. Very close to a finished product. I got to do a little trimming right here. I'll put some reinforcement on the edges, and it's done. deck to haul issue, or not deck to haul, but keel to haul issue. It looks like it's just gel coat because it's just this one section. I sanded it down, and then I got a crack over here. I'm gonna try to just patch it this year and then worry about the keel next year because I'm running out of time. Replacing the exhaust hose, those cuts, I did the cuts, but this hose here was feeling pretty soft, and as you can see, I can almost put my finger through it, and that is why I felt the need to replace the exhaust hose. This hose is 20 years old, so I think it's time. And if you look how much I got to do, oh, it's going to be a bear to get it in. It was a bear to get out. And here you see the finished results of the exhaust hose that we ran from all the way from the engine to the exhaust port in the back, which is about 20 feet. Of course, no refit would be complete without suffering through a bottom job. The absolute worst job on a boat, in my opinion. Even worse than cleaning the head and repairing the Jabsco toilet. In the boatyard, as you can see here. And I'm going to show you some things that we did to the boat. I didn't, do videos of us actually doing the work because there's so many people that do that on YouTube. You've seen enough people sanding their boat, but I'm going to show you everything we did. Right here, you can kind of see the outline of it. I drilled numerous holes. I'll put some pictures here of the in the rudder to dig out the old rotten foam, and refilled it with some 16-pound high-density closed cell foam. And here we repaired a propane leak. It was in the we replaced this little short pigtail hose about 2 or 3 years ago, and surprise, surprise, it leaked. So we had to replace that. And up here you'll see the results. I'm not completely finished with it yet, but I'm trying to get the right tint. But that's the results of the fiberglass repair on the port side where we hit the day mark. The only thing left on this is to reinstall the rub rail and to maybe another layer or two of gel coat, maybe with a better tint. And I spiced a continuous loop line for the main furler, and then I replaced the fuel gauge and installed it on the dash. One more upgrade. Check that out. Ooh, that's sharp. It's an anode and a prop line, or a line cutter on the prop. Hopefully we'll never need it. Alright, Pau Hana is ready to go back in the water where she belongs. And as promised, here's the almost finished results of the fiberglass repair and the full enclosure. That's it for this week's video, but tune in about a week and I'll have another video up as we depart the dock.